and welcome along to Inside Line Racing. This is ILRGT and we are round number 2 today at the Autopolis in Japan. I might have said that wrong, but I don't care. Joining me in the commentary box tonight, I do have company. It's your usual Tier 2 commentator for the season. It is Evil Dragon. Hello.
It's your boy in the discount commentary box here because I'm now Ted. It's going well. I'll be watching from the rafters and potentially in the lobby. Depends how many people are currently in. Only 13 right now, so once the session gets underway, I will join.
Yeah, if we get less people, that is. So, how are you all doing? It's been a great... I hope you enjoyed last week's race, which was really good. It was at the Dragon Trail at the seaside, and it was Blizzard that took the win. I do believe Blizzard's now been moved to Tier 1 because he is OP at this game. So he's been moved to Tier 1, so that's why he's no longer with us. But we've got 13 other drivers willing to show some muscle. Scott, by the way, is in P1 at the moment with a 125.2. I haven't seen how fast the laps are on track, but it is really a tricky circuit, isn't it?
It's a really tricky circuit. There's a lot of technical sections in the first sector. Now, watch out for that hairpin. We're going to see drivers making mistakes that I had to practice earlier on around here. I couldn't manage to do the corner because I'm terrible at this game. Watch out for the long right-handers after that as well. Easy and decisive to go wide as well. It's a very deceptive little corner. You make one mistake and you're going off very quickly.
Yes, and I've driven this circuit just before and I absolutely hated it. But as a commentator, I really do like it. It's nice and flowing and lots of good action as well. So I think watch out for turn 1. Turn 1 kind of reminds me of Suzuka, that really tight hander, but there's no S section in that, so that's probably why. As we're seeing fastest laps, as we've seen Rinky going fast in the first set, so he's gone purple a little bit there. So he's finding some more time. He's 6/10 behind Scott at the moment, so he could be the one to challenge for pole. It is roughly a 20-minute qualifying session. We've got 3 minutes and then we'll be going to the finals, which is a normal 50% race. So you're new to this tier, you don't know much of the drivers, but based on names and pace of other leagues, who do you think is going to do well tonight on this track?
Right, you can't put it past the likes of Scott right now. He's a very quick little driver. We've got other drivers as well. Looking through it, we got Ben. He was doing very well previously, and of course, you've got the likes of Yanu and Casper. Expect to see them come through the field in this race as they start down the back. So there's quite a quick drivers. Bazza as well. He won a few races last time, if I remember. So it's going to be interesting, Jess, to see what these drivers can do through the field.
Yeah, I am excited for that as well. So I hope you're all pumped for the race to get underway because, you know, I am definitely as well. It's going to be interesting, actually. For the championship, there's only 10 rounds as well. And we are starting to see times go thick and fast as well. As Casper's just gone fastest with a 125.2. So, that is good. Actually, no, it's not fastest. It doesn't show fastest times. I think it's where they are in track, I believe, which is, I thought that was interesting. I thought they were going to be doing that like they did last week, but there we go. According to GT anyway, Scott has just set the fastest lap as times are changing quite rapidly here as we on the final few minutes of qualifying, and we should be in for a good one. And I don't know when the final's going to start, but I think it's going to be a cracker.
Well, you've got to wonder. Right now, the turn was going to be interesting. It's quite a tight little corner, to be honest. So making sure you stop for that corner is good. Watch out for P2, who is on the outside as well. If they can get a nice toe around there, then they'll be very set for turn 2 and 3, which is that little long left, right hand coming to the little tight section. So you could see contact down there potentially. Watch out for the midfield. But it is going to be very close into that first couple of corners, I feel.
Yes, and we just seen Ben Gallagher, I think, bottle it into turn 1, so he's not had a good lap as well. And I do believe Scott has stopped on the circuit, and I do believe we're going to get the finals underway, I think, in a minute or so. So, looks like Ricky Morris is going to be on pole position. He just improved quite a massive here. I did say he was going to be a dark horse, and look at that. He is a dark horse, and he's looking for a win. Scott got P2, whereas Winky, I think, got P3, I believe. And yes, the final is about to begin. We've got a few drivers we haven't seen last week, so it's great to see them there as well. So, we are about to get the grid order up on your screen right now. And I think we still got 14 drivers, so hopefully I think Evil can join the lobby if we can. But I don't know. So here is the starting grid for you. Coming up, we've got Rinky Morris on par with Scott in second, Casper in third, Janelle in fourth, Ben Gallagher in fifth, and we have got I didn't know what was there, but we are about to go underway. Are you in a lobby or shall I continue?
No, I'm getting in, so continue.
Oh, brilliant. So we're about to get underway then. Scott is on your right hand side, Winky on the left, and it is lights out and away we go. I believe, or is it formation lap? I don't know, but let's just see if they go through to turn one. It looks like they're actually going racing here. And Scott's going to take the inside line off of Rinky. Oh, it's quite tense already going into turn one. We've already seen people lose positions on the back as well. But looks like Rinky holds on only just to P1 for now. Ben Gallagher's making his way through the field as well. He's going past Bazza as well. Metzer, I think, was P7 and dropped down to P5 already. As you can go, oh, a bit of touching from Ben Gallagher and Metzer there, but they kept it together. Scott's dropped quite a bit, actually. He's dropped down to P4. Casper P1. Don't know what happened to our race leader, but our race leader, Rinky, is right down the bottom. I'll just see where he is. He is in 10th, so not a good start for him, but a very good start from Casper.
Yeah, we've got a card if it's on your screen stuck on the grid. Yes, we've got Yanu 16 on my screen, at least on the grid. I don't know if that's just a graphical glitch on my end, but not moving. Casper has made an incredible start already, leading the field away from Messi, who's battling away with Scott right now around the outside. That's down towards the middle end of the sector then. And nice little move here potentially. Scott now up the inside. Mester up the road just ahead of them as well. Still, Ben Gallagher fighting in that Iris car and has to back off there. In the foreground, you can see Bazza having a look up the inside in the almost Jaguar-esque livery. He's battling away with Andy and Super Guy as well. Big tank slap through that last corner. We're going to see a few drivers making mistakes there. But so far, Casper leads here in Japan, here for Autopolis then. Ahead of Mester, Scott and then Ben. Then we got Super Guy, led up the inside, Bazza and Andy battling going. Contact there is here comes Ollie in the background there. One car going off into the wall. I think that might have been a Shape or a Renegade having problems. I think it might have been a Renegade having an issue down the back. Rinky, though, doing an okay job right now in the middle and 9th position, trying to come through this field in time as well.
Yeah, but we can see Ollie and Archie having a little bit of a scrap as well for P7 of this Super Formula Championships, and Rinky has got to, is that to get all his contact with Rinky, and there's Archie as well. Archie had a little bit of a argy-bargy there, but that means we've got a Shapalili. He's up into P9 in a really lovely looking Monster Energy car. We've got some nice, interesting looking liveries, I think, today, Ivor, and but enough about liveries. We're concentrating on what's going on the circuit. Quite a few people on the soft tyres. We've got Basil on the mediums as well. Ollie's going to try and look around the outside. Can he quite do it?
Got off.
He's gone wide. Rinky's right behind him now. Let's go on board with Rinky Morris in, well, I can't even say what type of car because they only got 2 types of cars. So let's go on board.
Sorry, Kobe, Jess. Super Guy's made a mistake as well as Basil's gone through as well as Rinky. Just as you're looking at it there. So the almost toothpaste-esque livery, I might say. They're battling away up front. We got Ben Gallagher having battle with Mester then in the very Dutch livery, almost the Repsol Honda livery. If you took out the white and made it grey, it's almost like that. So very good livery. But the Del car, the Irishman, currently there, Yanu has left. So that is a disconnection then. No, so that is the last thing he wanted.
He had no fuel. He had no fuel on the start line, so he couldn't go anywhere. So yeah, we've been forced to retire, Evil. So that is a shame.
Yeah. So that's unfortunate. Andy battling away there as well. We've got a car off into the grass, and that there is Super Guy running wide in the Microsoft livery, and that there is the last thing you want to do. This track, Jess, is causing havoc in this race. Cars are making a mistake already. We are only on that 2 or 3 up the inside. There you go, Super Guy dive up the inside. He's got the car stopped. Yes, he has. So Good move there from Super Guy. And now you can go challenge on after the Renegade there in P8. Then we've got Andy in P7. But so far up front, it is Casper who's gone off the road. Casper spins around, spin it through the gravel. Has he got the car stopped? He's going again. But Scott now leads here in Japan.
That was absolutely chaotic for Casper there. He controlled the start. He was able to get the lead in turn 3, and now is a disaster class for Casper, as it looks like Renegade and the likes of Renegade and Super Guy are going to catch up to him pretty soon as well. So, but Casper's still on to Bazza. Bazza has got a time penalty. I do believe that is cleared. No, it's not. It's still where it is. But in this game, you can get penalties and you can clear it as well. So it is not like F1 where you can't do that, as Casper is almost collided with Bazza there.
That's a bit of a shame.
That is a bit of a shame. So Casper is gaining though. He is gaining positions again, but that's not going to do well on his tyres. But he is not on the softest tyres, so that should be too bad. Bazza and Casper still having a little bit of hardy-bardy, so they got to get their act together. But lap 4, anything can happen, Evil.
Yeah, about 4. In terms of their fuel, all running about the same right now. In fact, I think Scott's running a little bit less than the rest of the field. Casper running a little bit more than everyone else right now. He's managing his fuel very well, but that was a costly mistake. Just as I was about to say, he was doing really well. He was pulling away, spinning in front of our eyes, and got on the curb, got on the grass, and immediately dropped it very hard. Well, very easy to do, I suppose, in this car. It was just into these last couple of corners where he did it. And that left-hander, he got on the curb on the inside. He's done it again. Keeps it going in a straight line, though. But he's just a small mistake. The curbs on this game, very easy to chuck you out. Meanwhile, talking about who is having a good run of it is Andy right now. He's battling with Messer down the straight. This circle is in anti-clockwise directions. You normally would turn left for turn 1. Now you're turning right. So it's a rare thing to see turn 1 going full, right? I know Suzuka does it, but not often do you see it. Sorry, the other way around, I mean, actually. But nonetheless, great little circuit here in Autopolis.
Bazza and Renegade were having a little bit of a battle. I think Renegade just got past Bazza there quite comfortably, and Bazza's now in P8, but now he's going to challenge Ollie as well for P8, to be honest, so he's going to be under threat. Ollie, I believe, is on softer tyres, so that's probably going to help him quite a lot here, as he's right on the back of Bazza right now. So is he going to go through that left-hander? I need to get a reminder of the turn numbers, but we'll do that in a minute. As you can see in this very tight exit here, he's probably going to go around the inside, but doesn't quite do it. He has a look, but it's going to be quite hard to make a move on this occasion. Some corners do remind me of some other tracks as well. You can see Shapalili and Super Guy in the background as well, as he trying to make his way through the field. A little bit of contact again, but no damage whatsoever. I don't think damage is turned on, but I'm not entirely sure. As
Casper up to P4 just, by the way. I just noticed that. He is doing an incredible job right now.
Yeah, he is. He's not giving up, Evil. He started in the lead properly in lap 1 and a bit, and then he dropped and he spun like he said, but he's not giving up. He's getting that positive mindset going and said, right, I've made that mistake. That's not going to let me suffer for the rest of the race, and that is where he is right now. So he's around about 4 seconds behind P3, which is Rinky there. And I think we have Metzer and Archie going side by side. Yes, they are. Metzer stays ahead though. Archie needs to be. I think Archie is known for not being very clean. So hopefully Archie can improve a little bit there. But when we see people going to the pits, that is where we'll start to see less scrabbles. But this is where the hard work goes. Archie's tyres are not going to last really long as well. So Archie will probably go into the pits earlier than Metz. We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, Metz has got a little bit worn tyres actually, Jess, so I think you might mean it's the opposite right now. Archie doing a surprisingly good job right now on his tyres. Sorry, I called him Andy a few times earlier on. It's Archie. My apologies there. Trying to find the run down the hill. He brakes late. He wants to be careful. You don't want to go onto that curb too much. It's easy to spin the car. Meanwhile, off goes Casper again. He's dropped it again in the gravel as he kept it going. Yes, he has gone the correct way around this time, but he's struggling. Look at the amount of grip he's not got there. Lack of it, should I say. He is struggling horribly. Meanwhile, Rinky versus Ben Gallagher. Rinky goes to the outside line and down towards turn number 1. Ben will have the inside as he goes back to that. Now he comes back to the inside, thinks about it. Rinky gives him the space, runs wide, but Ben now down to P3. Good move from Rinky then to P2. Ben thinking about coming back low, but nothing he can do. Casperlo making mistakes. This is not what he wants to do. Meanwhile, might I say, Renegade's come into this battle between Mester and Archie, by the way, as he's actually trying to overtake Renegade right now.
Yeah, Renegade in P7. Oh, and Super Guys left the session. I think that must be a disconnect, maybe, or you might got hold up in the pits, I'm not sure. But Renegade is really getting pace, and you can see for the train for 5th place. Archie, Metzer, Renegade, and also Ollie as well. Renegade is going to be under a lot of pressure. If he wants to get the move done on Archie, he's got to do it now, or Ollie will just go past him like a hawk. So Renegade's going to try now around, no, quite not. And look, you can see it. You can see Renegade just not being too aggressive enough, and he's almost losing another position, but Ollie decides to back out of it for now as he stays P8.
Yeah, it's a bit of a tricky little situation. Archie there, running up into the back of Mester there. He's trying to go around the outside. They're going to squeeze each other wide here. So what's out for Renegade? He'll try and get exits. These guys are all going to compromise each other here. Down the straight. Off goes one of the cars there. I think that might have been Mester off into the gravel. I think he might have got a touch there. Jess. I think he's got a touch there. And Archie's through. I don't know if that was contact or not. Hard to say. But what it does mean now is leads three a bit spread out.
Yeah, not much for Train anymore. That's gonna leave Renegade more chance to try and get Archie. But Renegade is dropping a little bit in that car. But Archie is around about 5-6 seconds behind Casper. So Archie will be flowing free soon if he can clear away from Renegade and Ollie as well. So we'll have to wait and see. I'm just looking to see if there's any battle for the lead. Not quite. Rinky and Scott still 3 seconds behind and ahead of each other. Ben Gallagher's quite clear as well. Casper, I think I've known Casper is a beast at GT Sport, so a comeback like that early on in the race is not really that surprising. I'm just seeing if there's any battles going on midway through the field. I don't think so, as we got Bazza still in P10 there. I think we're down to 10 drivers, I believe. I'm not quite entirely sure, but that is a bit of a shame to see so many retirements off this.
Oh, Jet's got a car off, Mester off into the gravel again. That's down at turn 8 or 9, if I'm not mistaken. He's gone into the wall, and I think this might be a retirement.
Yep, that will look like a retirement for him. He's got a 5/10 penalty.
Oh,
there.
and off goes Bazza as well.
Oh, so
same corner.
We are having some issues then with that same corner. Yet Metzer has retired then. So Metzer has gone to Narnia, gone into space as Evil might call it. And yeah, we're down to... Yeah,
in comes Renegade.
Renegade was on the supers. What side are you going to go on to then? We'll have to wait and see. So is our race leader, Scott. He's in the pits as well. Let's just draw our attention to Scott actually. Where does he come out? As Renegade is on another set of supers then. So he'll have to pit again, I believe, a 2-stop. I didn't see where the tyres Scott went on to, but it doesn't look like another set of supers. It looks like probably soft by looks of things. Yeah, it looks like soft. So yeah, he's gone for a harder compounded tyre than he's used to. But he's pitted first out of the leaders, and he's got quite a comfortable gap. So it is anyone's game.
Meanwhile, Casper's starting to close up a little bit to Ben right now. Ben's made a mistake recently because he's dropped quite a far back from Rinky, who has actually just had a tank slapper as well, just like I mentioned what he's doing. He's having a mistake as well. So drivers making a mistake is this uphill section. They seem to be pushing these cars. I tested earlier. It's so easy on this circuit compared to others to make mistakes. I expect the leader is going to come in a Rinky. Yes, he is. So Ben should follow him in quick suit, and I imagine Casper will also come in the pit lane. No, he's going to stay out for the time being. So second and third now in as Casper takes the lead here in Autopolis.
Let's see where Scott is then, as he's going to come through the last couple of corners soon. It'll be interesting to see where the likes of Ben Gallagher, Rinky and Ollie will go ahead of him. Ollie's going on the softs, Rinky on the supers, Ben Gallagher on the super. Scott comes across the line and he's ahead. He is ahead by the looks of things. So that is good news for him, but very close to Ben Gallagher. Like I said, Ben Gallagher did a very good pit stop, and actually no, I think Rinky Morris I think Ricky Morris got ahead of him there, so that it looks very promising for Ricky Morris as he's able to take the lead there. As we've had an issue for our COCOM. Hopefully he can join back soon, but I won't be surprised if he's got set up for his other stream, but you never know. But you just got me for the time being. So Scott has pitted, Ricky Morris has pitted, Ben Gallagher pitted. I think Renegade might have, no he's not, yeah, I did see Renegade pit. Ollie pitted, Chapalili I think still to go as well. But we haven't seen the likes of the bottom half pit yet. I'm not entirely sure. So they're probably going to get out of there and make sure they can do it as much as possible as well. So I will chuck Evil another party invite in a second. See if I can get him back. That might be that his internet has died. I won't be surprised if it is. As Casper pits then, he goes on to a set of softs. Archie is pitting as well. Archie is going on to a set of supers. So where does Casper come out? Casper's being held up a little bit, but actually that wasn't a very bad pit stop. Where does Casper come? It's a very short pit exit, as you can see, as Casper is in 4th place. So he comes out ahead of Archie and Renegade then. So he is where he is right now. So the only change, to be honest guys, in the pit stops is between Rinky and Scott. Rinky has changed battle for the lead, so Rinky has really taken advantage here. They may have to do another pit stop, probably, potentially, but again, we shall see, as we've got around about 20 or so laps to go of this session. So I'm actually going to quickly, I'm going to chuck Evil an invite and see if he can join. So just give me a second. I'll see if he's online. Nope, he's not online. So I think it's his internet deciding to have a little bit of a hissy fit. So Rinky Morris still leads then, and I'm just going to see if there's any other really tense battles going on right now. As Bazza, I think the gaps are pretty much, they've all running their own races at the moment. Potentially, we could see a potential battle with Ben Gallagher and Scott as well. There's Ben Gallagher as well on the back as well. Casper catching up like a hawk as well. So, benefit of the pit strategy is coming into fruition here. So, Ben Gallagher is right behind him now. So, he's got some time to make up. He's about 7/10 behind Scott now. That is absolutely great stuff from both of them. Scott did take second ahead of Blizzard last week, but Blizzard is not here. He's in tier 1 now. So Scott has got a point to prove. He is leading the championship, and the likes of Rinky and Ben Gallagher want to take that away from him, and that's what they're trying to do. Meanwhile, in P6, we could see the potential. Archie has got Ollie breathing down his neck as well. So they're both on different strategies as well. So that'll be interesting to see from the drivers, as it is a normal 50% race. So they will be doing normal pit stops, as you can probably tell. GT Sport this is my second GT Sport commentary. My first GT Sport commentary was last week. So. And it was a very good fun, as Ollie's still on the back of Archie. I'm going to see if there's any change up front then. Ben Gallagher's right behind Scott going into turn 1 then. Is he going to make a chance? Oh, he almost had a look again. Scott tries to defend very well here. Scott's going to pull away. Ricky must be loving this little battle then, as he's got the track all to himself pretty much. As Ben Gallagher, I think, took a little bit more curb than he thought he was going to get. As Ben Gallagher having another look, but not quite. He is on it like a car bonnet, as Ben Gallagher is. So, this is the closest battle we're seeing. Ollie and Chapalili. Between Ollie and Archie, sorry. It's around about 2. Oh, and Ollie's gone wide. Arnie's hit the wall as well. This is where we've seen a lot of people bottle it already. So that's costed Ollie's race so far, but Ben Gallagher still staying in that 7/10 range at the moment as they go through the uphill bridge of... some of these circuits I don't know really well, and I should really get a track map, but that's probably not going to help matters at all. So there we go. So Ben Gallagher right on the back of Scott now. Ben Gallagher takes the outside line. Can he cover it off? Yes, he does. Ben Gallagher takes second place from Scott. This is Ben's best race so far, as Scott is going to try and look on the inside, but Ben is saying no thank you, second place is mine, and that's where he takes it. Casper is absolutely flying right now. He's just set the fastest lap of this Grand Prix so far with a 1:24.978, but can it all change? Let's find out pretty soon. Ben Gallagher's going to try and catch up to Rinky now, 6.5 seconds separating them. So it is going to be a tall order for the likes of them to try and catch up to them. So otherwise Scott can make a move any minute. Casper 5.3 seconds behind Scott. So if Scott's tyres start to wear a little bit, we could see Casper go into the picture a little bit. How is Ollie doing looking with Archie? 3.8, so Ollie is dropping off from Archie there, unfortunately. So that is a bit of a shame from Archie and Ollie there. Shapalili still in 8th. He's going to get lapped, I believe, by the leader, as he already is. So we're pretty much halfway through this race then. Rinky still leads. Scott just taken second place from Ben Gallagher at the exact same time that Ben Gallagher did earlier on. Ben Gallagher almost had another look there, but it is not quite enough on this occasion. These two are absolutely flying. And Ben Gallagher, he's about 4/10 still. Let's go on board with Ben Gallagher going through this tight little chicane then. And he's trying to get absolute grip on these tyres. Tyre wear I think is probably pretty clean, to be honest. Probably the most clean as I've seen it. But it is also quite hard as well. If you just joined us, hello. Welcome to the ILRGT2 coverage. And oh, there's a little bit of contact. I didn't see who that was. Who was it that's gone wide? That might have been... Oh, there's a little bit of hargy-bargy with blue flags. Shapalini needs to be out of the way of Ben Gallagher ASAP, because otherwise it's going to cost any chance of Ben Gallagher catching up to Scott. So it's going to be absolutely tight, because I believe they will be giving a time penalty if that happened, as I think Shapalini moves out the way, luckily. Casper stays P4 for now, but... Oh, it's Casper's gone wide again! To be honest, I think the traffic did not help him there. He stays P4. What about Scott and Ben Gallagher? Scott stays behind. He's managing to pull the gap to 1 second now. It was around about 0.9, 0.8 seconds just a moment ago. But now it is a different amount. Casper's got some making up to do. Renegade in 5th. 17 seconds behind Casper. Archie 18 seconds behind Renegade. How about Ollie? 3 seconds behind Bazza. Bazza's 50 seconds behind him, so we're starting to see the creme de la creme really coming to fruition here. And we have also got Tier 1 happening as well, so we want to check Tier 1's coverage and do that as well. There's multiple streams happening at the exact same time, so it's great to hear there. Scott riding in a number 13 car, doing very well indeed, trying to hold up to Ben Gallagher. But Rinky is flying. He's now 9 seconds ahead of the rest of the field now. He's running his own race. The Morris Motorsport livery, and Archie has left. Archie has left. He's had an issue. Didn't see what happened with that. So we are now down to 8 drivers. We've had so many retirements already in this Grand Prix. These guys just can't afford to make any mistakes now. So I think the top 5 are the only guys to not be lapped, I think. So that's what it is then. So I think everyone else has been lapped then. Lap 17 and 27. How is Ben Gallagher looking for Scott? He is dropping massively. But don't forget, he's on those softer tyres than Scott. So, and his tyres do look like they're starting to degrade a little bit from Ben Gallagher. So he will, I think, will be going into the pits pretty soon to get a change in tyres. So that would be good for him. It's been a good race so far, but usually the last half of the race is usually quite at times, but usually we've seen the battle for the podium positions really start to emerge there. As I can see with the track map, I think Casper's not that far behind either. 1.9 seconds. Casper is catching. Ben Gallagher, you can see Ben Gallagher's tyres. I had a feeling they will be starting to degrade soon. And boy, I wasn't wrong, to be honest. He's just not having the best time at all, Ben Gallagher, at this stage. Maybe he was pushing a little bit too hard with Scott at the second stint. And that's possibly why he's got Casper breathing down his neck. Or maybe Casper's such a quick driver. I think it might be both, actually, as Casper is right on the tail of Ben Gallagher once again then. Is he going to challenge for a move pretty soon? Probably not. Going through the tight uphill section. You can see Scott in the background as well. So I wonder what will Ben Gallagher do here. He wants P3 so bad, so he's not going to let Casper get P3 that easily. 8 drivers still running in this Grand Prix. Ben Gallagher is going to take the left-hand side. Is he going to challenge the move? No, he's not. Ben Gallagher is in the pits then. So he must be reading our minds or something like that, because he is in the pits again. Casper will probably come in soon as well. Where does Ben Gallagher and the final set of super softs go to the end then? So I'm guessing he started on the softs and then he's going super supers. A lot of people are going to do the 2-stop. Scott could go into the pit soon, maybe. He is struggling just a teeny bit. But he's still, the gap between him and Rinky is still around about 10 seconds. It hasn't really changed pretty much since the start. So we are keeping it calm and collected here. And Casper P3. If Scott's not careful, Casper's going to be breathing down his neck as well. Casper has really timed that strategy to perfection right now, so hopefully you can see, or you can almost see Scott and Casper almost on the same camera shot. So it is pretty decent stuff from the pair of them, to be honest. Let us know who has been your favourite driver. Let us know your driver of the day. As I do believe Scott is going to the pits. Yes, he is. He's going on to a set of softs till the end. You can see his last tyres were really blistering there. So he has definitely made the right decision to go into the pits then. As where is Scott? Scott comes. He's lapped As Ben Gallagher goes in again, he's still in the pits then, so he must have had a little bit of an issue. As he stays P4, but he's about 19 seconds behind Scott, so that puts Casper's jumped Scott. But don't forget, the likes of Casper and Rinky haven't pitted, but he's 18 seconds behind. I don't know how long a pit stop is around this circuit. I will need to do a little bit of maths on that one, I think, to be more aware of what is happening. So Rinky, as I was saying, Rinky Morris is now going into the pits then. I'm sure he's going to be comfortably taking that lead, but we'll have to find out. Here Rinky goes. He's going on to a set of softs. Let's see where he goes then. He's going to get some fuel as well. Casper's in the pits. It's about the pit crew. Where is Scott on the circuit then? Scott's going to come across the line. Casper stays P3. Rinky goes ahead of Scott then, so, but not by very much. All I've seen someone go off. I think that was Ollie, I think, there in the monster car, so that was very unfortunate. But Rinky still in the lead by 4.5 seconds, so the gap is closing then a little bit more than I thought. Chapalili goes into the pits then. He's going on to a set of the softs. And Bazza, I believe, will be pitting anytime soon as well. So we've seen a lot of carnage in the first opening laps, and I think the main thing really we got to look for really is the strategy, and that's what these guys really need to focus on as we get to the last 7 laps. Bazza is a lap down, so is Chapalili, and I do believe Ollie is a lap down as well. But Casper, let's see where Casper is behind Scott. 6.4 seconds. So, looks like Casper won't be catching up to Scott, but Casper is going to get a podium, which will be absolutely relieving for him. He'll be so relieved about that. But he knows P2 could potentially be in sight, but maybe not, as Scott is around about 7 seconds behind now. Scott now still about 4 seconds behind Rinky then. What is Rinky going to do to respond to Scott? He really needs to start pushing, because otherwise the gap will start to tumble and start to close in into the leaders. It would be amazing actually if we can see a battle, pretty much a battle for the win. That would be insane. We almost saw it last week with P2 and P3. We didn't see it with the win as Blizzard was absolutely flying, but if you want to see where Blizzard is in Tier 1 now, so just a quick reminder. As Scott is, how fast is that lap? He's improving. He has dropped about a few tenths that lap, so Rinky is keeping the gap steady then. Meanwhile, what's the gap between Ollie and Chapalili? Chapalili is 8 seconds behind Bazza then, so I think the battle for position, for pretty much the battle not to be last, is going to be between Chapalili and Bazza then, so very, very tight towards the end there. Rinky has definitely put on the star performance, and look at that! Rinky has set the fastest lap of this Grand Prix so far with a 1:24.7, closing up already then to the pole time. That is great stuff. There's Lewis in the chat there, hello. He is rooting for Casper. Casper still doing well in P3 for now. We do have a mixture of nationalities today. We have a lot of British people, Irish people. We have Finland, Germany, Holland. I apologize if I do get the flags wrong. I don't want to turn into someone who doesn't know geography, but I haven't done geography in so long. And I think next week's track is going to be interesting as well, because it will be at the Red Bull Ring in Austria. Well, to be honest, on any game, it's one of my favourite tracks to commentate on. Need I say myself, blah, blah, blah. Need I say so myself? So where is Rinky then? Scott's closing. Scott is closing by 3.2 seconds then. Now the gap is 3 seconds. So this could be absolutely intense between Scott and Rinky Morris as we get to the end. Rinky needs to start pulling away because Scott's on that newer tyre. Scott really need help there. Put the pressure. Ben Gallagher, he is around about 12 seconds in front of Renegade, so he's going to keep P4 for now. But I don't think there's any penalties. There will be, I think, a penalty flash pop up, I think. Not entirely sure. So the weather's still quite sunny here in Autopolis. To be honest, I've said that so many wrong times per stream, and it's just an absolute nightmare. But hopefully, these guys can keep it together, they can keep it clean. Lap 24 of 27 then. Who has been your favourite so far? Get your predictions then. Is the order going to change? Is Scott going to close up to Rinky like he means to? He's now 2.3 seconds now, so Scott's pace is amazing. To be honest, he could challenge Rinky for the fastest lap. So the potential is there then for Scott to take the win if Rinky doesn't pull hard enough. These guys have got 2 laps to go. They've got 2 laps to really pull it in and pull it together. Looks like they're doing okay so far. As Rinky's now 2.6. I thought I saw someone go off the circuit, but I didn't. Shapalili in 7th, then still a lap down. About 1 minute and 15 to be precise. And Bazza's had an interesting calamity in the gravel there, so he's lost a bit more chunk of time, and soon he's probably going to be 2 laps down, which is not going to be good for him. He wants to improve quite a bit more, and he's on lap 23, whereas everyone else is on lap 25 of 27 or so. Gap now 2.7 seconds. Tyres could be starting to die at this point, so it's just a question of when these guys can really, really push. Scott will potentially push now, but I don't know. It might be a little bit too little too late for the Scotsman. Well, he's not... why am I calling him Scotsman? I don't know, but he's called Scott, that's why. We've got Cadwell in the chat. Oh, hello, nice to see you. So after this round, we'll have 7 more rounds to go of this championship. This is going to go on right until August. We'll see some good races come up potentially pretty soon as well. Rinky is starting to push. He can feel the pressure from Scott, so it is, to be honest, I think for Scott it is do or die for the Scotsman, so we will have to wait and see. And we're going to potentially go on the final lap pretty soon as well, as I don't think the gap's going to get close enough, as Rinky is going to go across the final few corners and about to start. Oh, not the final few corners just yet. Ben Gallagher, he is able to capitalise on his mistakes and starting to recover from that instance he's had, and he had some good battles with Scott as well. Maybe if he went into the pits a little bit earlier, he would have tried to catch up to Scott, and maybe he could have been in potential for the race win. So that is very unfortunate, but he's still going to get some good points in P4. Casper's still getting the fastest lap. We're on the final lap here at the Autopolis. Gap down 2.3. I don't think it's going to be enough unless Rinky has a massive off. But it doesn't look like Rinky's going to have a massive off. If it stays as it is, we'll have a different winner on this tier then, which will be absolutely amazing. He's got to keep it tidy throughout the second and third sets in order to try and catch up, but he's going to have a mega lap of his life, and to be honest, I don't think he's going to do it. So the win will look most likely go to Rinky, which will be sensational. He's been doing very well this season. He's looking to close up in the championship, and this race is going to be looking like to be on top of that. Rinky comes across the line and he wins ILRGT2 for the second round. Scott comes across the line in P2, 1.9 seconds separate. So Scott was doing all he can to bring the pressure, but he couldn't quite do it. Casper, a very good result there. Casper will get P2, 3. So here he goes. Casper is celebrating. He's delighted with that result. And Ben Gallagher is going to get P4. And we've got the likes of Renegade going to come across the line soon. Ollie come across the line soon. And Chapalili and Badger as well. A few of these guys are lapped down already, so most of them have got a few corners to go. Renegade will have a few corners to go pretty soon as well. Renegade, not bad performance from him. He finishes in P5. What about Ollie then? Ollie will stay in P6, I believe. So the order's pretty much not going to change. Baz will come across the line in P8. It wasn't a bad race, to be honest, but it's a very tricky circuit, and that's why we've seen a lot of people go off, and that's what's costed them the race victory. And that is why Rinky Morris has prevailed. Here we go, your race winner. And here are your results. Where we go then, we have got our race winner. Rinky is celebrating, he's got his trophy. And he's going to get champagne, I know, at any time soon as well. So, thank you guys so much for watching. We really hope you enjoyed it. And it's been absolutely superb. And I'm going to type a message saying good race. So, if it will let me, that is. I don't think it will. I don't think it will. I'll do it after the stream anyway. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I've been JessGames95. Evil Dragon was with me for a little bit. But unfortunately his internet decided to not play ball again, which was a bit of a shame. But he will be back next week then. And we will be at the Red Bull Ring in Austria for round number 3 of the Super Performance Championships. It's going to get absolutely exciting here, and we're really glad to broadcast these set of streams to you. So, we'll see you next week, same time, around about 10 to 7 for more ILRGT action. Thanks for watching, and good night.